Okay, technical difficulties. I forgot to turn the sound on, so let's start over. So today we're going to work on this Baby Magnolia image, and we're going to do the darker skin tone. You can also do the lighter skin tone. That's included in the kit too, if you want to, the color that I use for that, in case you want to do that one. And I've already stamped my image on some Neenah 80-pound Polaroid cardstock. My card over here so I can see it. And let's go a little closer. How's that? All right, so let's, always helps when you turn the volume on so you can actually hear something. Okay, so we are going to start out by outlining our little girl. And for that, we're going to use C00. Did I bring that in here? Of course not. So I'm just having lots of problems today. So I'm going to start and I'm going to outline mine with C0 since I pulled the wrong one out of my markers. And I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to go around the outside. That'll give me a little bit of a shadow so she doesn't look quite so flat. I'm going to go around these butterflies too. And because there's not much space here between her face and her little butterfly, I'm going to go ahead and color that in. And I'll go down this side. And I like to do it first so that in case I get some on my girl, I can erase it. Or if I've already colored it, I don't have to worry about pulling color off of my image onto the background, which I totally would do. And I'm going to do this little butterfly right here. Hi, crafty girl. How's it going at where you're at? Thanks for joining me. So next, we're going to do her skin. So I'm going to use 31, 30, RV11. Okay, so for my skin, I'm going to use E33, 31, 30, and then RV11 for her. And I'm going to start with my my E33. And let's go ahead and start down here on her leg. So I'm going to go with a little bit on the insides. And then under her knee right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here. Oh, Dallas, Texas. Is it hot there? Today we have 76 today and blue sky. So we're kind of loving it here in Oregon. Next, we're going to add E31. Brush a little bit on there. And I'm going to give it a couple of coats, so I'm not worried if it doesn't blend right away. And then we'll add our E30. Whoops. We can move this down here, maybe better. And then we'll go like this. And I'm not going to worry too if I don't fill all the way in, because like I said, I want to give it a second coat. And we're going to go back with our second coat of E33. I'm going to brush it out a little bit further this time. So let's go over here. And I just touched down on the line next to her leg. And then I'm going to softly flick away from this side to the other side. Here, we'll bring this side out. I'll do the same thing on this side. And then we're going to go with E31. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. The UPS man or somebody must have showed up outside. And I think the neighbor's needs us a sign for something, so somebody's going to have to answer the door. So that's going to completely throw him off. I have my UPS guy trained to just throw it on the porch and leave it there, and I'll collect it after he leaves. Hi, Wanda. Thanks for joining us. 91. Oh, that's pretty hot, crafty girl. You probably don't. We have wet humidity here, so 70, whatever I said it was, what is it, 76. It's warm outside, but we have a lot of humidity, so it's not too bad. Warm enough that I would want to get in the pool after standing outside for a little bit. So now we're going to go up here, and I'm going to, so that's starting to blend it out pretty good. And you can, if you wanted to make it darker, you could add a third coat and make her skin even darker. So I'm going to go up here and start on her arm. Let's do this arm that's waving or holding the butterfly up first. Let's go with right next to her sleeve. And then she's got a little elbow right here, so I'm going to give that a little extra wing right there. And then we want to go underneath of her hand. And then I'm going to do the bottom of her hand. Oh, good. You have sun too, Wanda. That's awesome. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain. I'm ready for summertime. And we're going to do E31. I just touched down on top of my E33 and flick up. Then we'll add E30. And then we're going to do E33. She is wearing, it's like she's not a mitten. Her hand is just folded over and the butterfly is kind of going to land on her thumb. They just don't, on the Magnolia images, don't have like hands or like fingers on there. They just kind of do a little swoop for their hand. And if you girls didn't pick this kit up yet, don't forget I'm doing a coupon over at the store for 25% off, so you can go grab her if you want. And in the instructions, it includes a lighter skinned girl too, in case you want to do a little bit lighter one. I just had a request to do a darker skinned girl this time, so I thought we would try that out. And then we're going to do E31, and the coupon code is June22. And I tend, when I add my second color, to leave it sit for just a little bit of a second longer than I would if I was flicking. So I lay it down and then kind of pull it a little bit slower than I normally would. And that helps me blend my colors a little bit better. And we'll do E30. It's kind of like the Magnolia ones. They don't have They never have a mouth. So just their style, I guess. This, and for the last color, I like to go over the entire area. Hi, Sue. Thanks for joining us. We've all so far here, they're chatting, or we have nice weather today. We're enjoying the sunshine where we're all at. How about you? I'm going to do E33. And let's do this arm over here. So I'm going to go right next to her body. And then under her sleeve. Yay, sun for everybody. That makes everybody happy when they get sun. And then we're going to do E30. And we're going to give it our second coat. And then remember, with my second color, I leave it on just a little bit longer. So I'm going to pull it from over here and I'm going to go past. But I leave my pen just a fraction of a second longer than I would if I was just flicking it on. And that helps soften that line in there in the middle. And then we'll fill it in with our E30. Oops. And then I go over her entire arm. Let's hop up here and we will work on her neck and her face. So again, I'm going to do E33 first. And I'm going to do that right along the edge of her shirt and underneath of her face. And then right here, there's a little space between her pacifier that we want to make sure to get. And then for her face, I'm going to go, there's some little dots right here on her forehead. I'm going to use those as my starting space. And we're going to go up here underneath of her hair. And if you get a little bit in her hair, that's going to be okay because we're going to color her hair really dark brown. So we'll cover that right up. I'll do a little bit in her ear, and then I'm going to come back down and around to her chin over here. Out. Then we're going to do E31. And for this color, I want to bring it around to connect over here. And I'm going to bring it over the top of this pacifier too, so it can be a little bit darker right next to that. I think I'll cover her neck in. Then we're going to do E30. And it looks like a hot mess, but remember, that's okay because we're going to add some more color. I want to do her cheeks first. That way we'll get that down. Hi, Chrissy. Thanks for joining us. We all have sun so far. Do you have sun where you're at? We're going to do RV 11 for our cheeks today. And kind of a different color, but I thought it would work out best. We can see it a little bit better under her dark skin. And then over here, I'll probably add a couple of coats too after I darken her skin up. I'm loving that everybody's having sun where they're at today. We're really enjoying it here today. Probably end up in the pool later. We're going to go up here and around her hair again. Remember, don't worry about her hair because we're going to color that a dark color. Back down here. And then for her face on this side, I'm going to pull out just a little bit more. So let's flick away from our line. Bring it out here just a tad because her face is tipped down right there. So we'll make that side a little bit darker. Then we're going to add E31. I'm going to cover her neck up. And oh, I better do this little spot right here between her pacifier. Do you girls have any ideas of what you would like to do next week? I was thinking maybe we could try watercoloring. I had a request to do that. Now there's a bunch of really pretty flower stamps in the store that we could do some watercoloring with. Okay, now we're going to go with E30. And even though I filled in down here, I want to go over the top of that just to kind of soften it a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit in here, and I can tell already I'm going to have to give it another coat of my E31 because I'm not going to like how that looks. Grab E31. And I'm going to go ahead and start over here on this side and then flick lightly across this entire space in the middle. And then same over here, let's go from this way and just fill that in. And then I'm going to do my cheek color because I've kind of used all that up. And you could pinken that up. I think I'll pinken a little bit more, maybe with R20. Give it a little bit more pink. Then I'll soften that with my RV11. And then I'm going to go over her whole face with my E30. Go. Not too bad. I'm not really good at doing, hi Tammy, thanks for joining us. I'm not too good at doing dark skin tones, but I'm trying to practice more. You don't get better unless you practice. So I usually just go with my normal light skin tone, and since someone asked me to do a darker one, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do it. You gotta branch out every once in a while. So Tammy, we've all decided we're having sun today. What kind of weather do you have? So now we're going to do her hair. For that, we're going to use E49, 79, 47, and 43. I'm glad you can watch me color all day. I hope you guys like doing the real-time videos so that you can, for me, I'm a visual learner, so I have to see it done. So if they speed up their video, I don't get to see what they're doing very well, and so it just doesn't, I still like watching them. I just learn better if I can see it going slow and up close where I can see it and look and see what exactly they're doing. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for joining us. How's your weather over there in the UK? We have sun here in Oregon. Oh, good, Jane. Not muggy. So far, I'm loving that everybody has sunny weather. It just makes me feel so happy when it's sunny. After a few days of rain, I'm like, oh no. I'm going to take my E49 first, and I didn't really have a plan. I just took my marker, and wherever there was a little line that the artist had drawn on here, I kind of gave it a little swirl of color. And she does have bows in her hair, so make sure to be careful with those. You don't want to color those. And I'm also taking suggestions for what you guys would like to do next. I was thinking maybe we could try watercoloring next week. I've got a bunch of really pretty flowers in the store stamps, so I thought maybe we could try that. I had a request to do that. Or if you girls want to do some kind of different Copic thing, then if you could give me suggestions of what you would like to do for that. I'm going to go with E79, and then just like I did with the E49, I'm just going to add some more swirls in there. So not on top of the last color, but in little extra white spaces. And be careful of those bows. And I'm making them kind of squiggly, not straight lines. Next, we're going to add E47. And again, I'm just going to hit some of these white spaces. And right about now, you can see that it doesn't matter if I colored a little bit of that skin tone on her hair, because we can't see it. I've covered most of that up. And then I'm going to go over all of her hair with my E43. Right over all those colors and kind of squish them together. Got beautiful curly hair. Thanks, Chrissy, for loving the real-time videos. Hopefully it's helping you guys learn a little bit of something. So next, let's do this crown up here. So let me see what I need for that. Thank you. I just had my nails done today. So today we're going to do Y26, 19, 6, and 4 for our crown. So today I decided that I'm not really a colored girl, so today we have these beautiful sparkles today. My little nail person said, hey, try these out. And I'm like, okay, we'll try it out. She tries to talk me into different things. Otherwise, I'd just get white. So next we're going to do our crown. So we're going to start with our Y26. Let's do right up here in the back of the crown first. So up here in these little indents. And then let's see, got a bunch of little dots right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. And then we're going to come down this side, and there's a little bump out right here, so I'm going to make it a line. Same for that one. A little line there. And then let's go right next to her hair. And I'm going to give this, even though it's not a line there, I'm going to give this a little wrinkle right here. And come up this way. Next, we're going to do Y19. Wanda, I haven't tried oil painting. I guess I'll have to watch some videos on that and see how it goes. I just got some acrylic paint because I took up Bible journaling here lately, and I was like, oh, I'll try to do try some acrylic paint because I've watercolored before, but this was something new, so I'm gonna have to practice a little bit more. It turned out okay. I just know I'm gonna need to use a little bit more practice. Colored my finger. Now we're going to do Y06. Shammy, that's funny. I know I watch videos all the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did they use in that? I have to go get some right away. So I'm just as bad. I'm going to do a little bit here on the edge of this. And I know I'm going to have to give my crown a second coat, so I'm not worried about it looking terrible. Then we're going to do Y04. So make sure you girls are thinking up ideas of what things you want to do in our next live stream. I was thinking that we could do every other week, we'll do a card kit, at least for the summertime, because my child is home, so it would make it easier that I don't have to fit in making videos if I just do it live. And then maybe every other week, opposite week, we could do, we're going to do Y26. We can do something else, learn something new, or try something. I'm up for things. I like to try things. But I need suggestions. And I'm okay with it being trying it and I'm being terrible at it. Then we'll do Y19. I have to say card making is probably my favorite too. I do scrapbooking and I'm so far behind. I've switched to Project Life and I don't know what happened this year. I still haven't started this year and I'm like on July of last year. But I know if I sit down and get started on it again, I'll get caught up. And then do Y06. I like just stick the pictures in the pocket, and I'm pretty minimalist about it. I don't have to add a bunch of embellishments and stuff. I usually do my pictures and print words right on them or whatever, and then print them out and stick them in the pocket. And then I'm going to go over her whole crown with Y04. Let me see, did I color these butterflies down? What did I color them? Y19. So let's do those while we got the yellows out, so I don't have to look later. So for that, I just did the wings. And I didn't worry about the center because I'm going to come back and fill that in with black. So I just colored them all the way in. And then we'll do 100 for the little black spots. Let's do right in the middle, their little bodies. And then the wings have like little dots in them, so I'm going to give those a quick little dash of color. And I'm not going to hold my pen there very long because I don't want it to suck up too much ink. I'm just going to give them a quick slash of color in there. You could also, if you have some Spica glitter pens, you could do your Spica glitter pen to color that in. But pretty easy. So Cammy, Copic markers and sets. When I started out, I bought a set of those Copic markers, like 72 come in a box, and I got them, and I hated them. I know that's terrible, but they don't come with any colors together. So like if they're if like E49 and E47 are two close colors. So in their kit, you got D29 and D08. I'm hoping that's a color. They didn't match. So my suggestion is never buy them that way. I know it's terrible, but just pick something you're going to color, or do some blog hopping where you go around and you see some colors you liked on someone else's coloring that are together. So like R24, 27, and 29, and get those. If you can't afford 3, get R24 and 29, and then use those 2 colors to make the R27 in the middle. And you will be really happy with your coloring than you would be if you bought all those markers together and they had none that go together, if that makes sense. So yeah, you can't blend with them if you don't have 2 that are together, and those sets are set up so that they don't have the colors with one right next to the next one. So you can't really, I hated them. After I first bought them, I was like, why did I buy these? These are terrible. I spent all this money on these and they're just, I couldn't do anything. So I got to, doing my blog hopping and stuff, and bought some colors closer to what I was coloring, and then I was super happy. So if that makes sense, if you're going to color people, buy a skin tone that you've seen around in blog land that you like. Start with that. And then, hair colors you like, or if you found some shirts you like. So that's what I would start with. And you can email me too, and we can chat some more and start you out with some that you like. And my email's HeathersHobbieHaven@hotmail.com. Right, and they do come, the Copics do sell them now too, in the little packages where there's 3 pins together. Those would be an awesome thing to start with. If you're going to buy pins in a set, get that. Do not buy those ones where there's 24 in a set or 72 in a box, or never buy those. I would just, unless you're planning on filling them in with more pins. So next we're going to do the ruffles on her little outfit, and for that we're going to, I guess I didn't show you the pin colors. For that we're going to, got to chatting, we're going to use C20 and the Colorless Blender. And so we're going to go down here, and I'm going to go right next to her little outfit. And then the little bubbles or little ruffles right here, I'm going to give it a little extra dot of color. And then same over here, go right next to the outfit. And then there's a couple of dots there, so fill that in. And let's do her pants right here. And these are pretty skinny, so I'm trying to use just the tip of my pen. Then we'll go down here and we're going to do her, well, let's go ahead and, no, let's do her socks. So for her socks, give a little line there. I'm going to come down. And everywhere there's a little bump, I'm giving it a little extra ink, so it comes out just a little bit farther. And then we'll go with C0. And I'm just going to lightly brush on the edge of that C2. Yes, definitely, Tammy. I'm glad that we had this chat and that you've decided to email me about that, because, yeah, I hated them when I first got them in those sets, and I just don't want anybody else to be disappointed and know they're going to have to buy more right off the get-go to make them happy. Best to get colors you love first, so you can have fun coloring with your new expensive toy. I'm pretty sure I could find a coupon for you too if you want to buy some from my store. I'm going to add C0, and I'm just going to lightly brush over her entire ruffle. And then I left her socks white with just that little bit of stuff. Okay, that sounds good, Jane. I'll work on that. Some kind of, maybe something easy next week where we talk about brushes and paints and just stuff to get started. That, I think, was what I'm going to plan for next week. But of course, I don't have the card done, but I will definitely get that finished up and posted on the blog for us. I just thought it'd be fun to do something a little bit different next week because we do Copics every week. Copics are very expensive. So for her outfit and stuff, for the rest of the things, we're going to use R22, 21, and R30. Yes, crafty girl. Copics are so expensive. And I remember I've had mine for years. And when I first bought mine, they were like $3 each. And I thought that was like so outrageous. But compared to now, I'm like, I'm so glad I bought them way back then. And I love them. I would never trade them off. I use them all the time. They're my favorite coloring thing. So they're well worth the investment. I mean, you can refill them. You can replace the nibs. They have so many colors, and I'm just like a color person, so I love to have lots and lots of colors. When I bought my Copics, yes, I printed out a blank Copic color chart, and I filled it in with the colors as I went, and I actually carried it in my purse. So I had just a blank one. I did I just put an X in the colors I had, so I knew I did not purchase separate ones. If you're going to go take your list to the store at Michael's or something like that and use a coupon to get 40% off one when you go in. But I kept a color chart, and I use my color chart now all the time whenever I'm going to pick my colors out. When I make a card, I pick the paper first, and then I, like for my card for today, I picked this paper first, and I use the colors off of this flower paper right here, this darker pinkish orange color, to make her outfit. So I got my little color chart out, and I put it up against my paper, and then I started with a color. And I also use Sandy Allnock's octagon chart all the time, which makes me branch out and use different colors because they're not all in a row. All the colors go in the color order, so they're all next to the color that it matches. So that kind of helps you to match up colors. And it's well worth the $6 for the little octagon chart. I use mine all the time. So for our R22, let's do our little bows up here. I'm gonna do a little dab here, and then I'm gonna do a little dab here in the center. And then same for this one. Then we're going to add R21, and I also have some of the Spectrum pins, and I have the Shinhan markers that I thought everybody would love, and I couldn't get anybody to love those. And they're really good too. But Copics just have so many colors that I think that's why most people like them the best. I'm going to do R30. And for that, I just wipe over all of my colors in my bow. And I'm actually going to go back with my R22 and darken that up just a little bit. And Sue, you're right. That would be a good chart to have, and I think that Sandy Allnock sells one that you can get that's already colored in, too, so you can kind of see the colors. But just looking at the chart would show you colors that go good together right there next to each other that are not right in a line. So for a little pacifier, let's do this little line here, the back side. And then we're going to do over here on this side where it's touching. And then I want to go right next to the little part that's attached to the pacifier. And then we're going to do R21. I don't have the chameleon pins. How do you like those, Wanda? Copics are cheaper than therapy. Mr. HeathersHobbieHaven should know that. Then we're going to fill it in with R30. If we can figure out a way to bill our insurance, we'd be all set. Just get insurance to pay for all those Copics. We got to get somebody working on that. Then I'm going to go, and I'm going to add a second coat because I don't like how light it is. So we're going to go R22 again. And then R21. And then R30. Then we're going to go down here and do our little outfit. So let's start with R22. That is pretty cool that you won some. That's awesome. And let's see. Let's start over here. I'm going to go right next to her little outfit on the inseam of her sleeve there. And we're going to come up, and she's got a couple little wrinkles right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add those. I'm going to color this little sleeve band in. And then let's do up here. And maybe give that a little wrinkle. And for her sleeve over here, I'm going to color in the little band. And then let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a wrinkle right here. Yes, this card kit is still available, so you can pick this up over at the store until Sunday for 25% off if you use coupon code JUNE22. And I have my little granddaughter's going to be turning 1 on the 30th, so I thought I would add a big 1 to, I obviously have to color this again, or I can cheat and use the little lighter skin girl that I use, but I thought maybe Catherine has blonde hair, so I thought I would color her yet again and make her with blonde hair and give it to her for her birthday. And since I'm in charge of scrapbooking, I will just keep it and put it in her book. Isn't that terrible? I don't want it to get ruined. So I will collect it from the birthday party and stick it right into her scrapbook. I'm kind of stingy with my colored cards. I'm fine with selling them in the store and I don't know what happens to them. But if I give them to a family member, I expect them to be treated like gold. I want her outfit to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a second coat. How about you girls? Are you good about giving your cards away? Oh, thanks, Chrissy, for signing up for the newsletter. I didn't send one out this week because I didn't get around to a card kit. It just fell on I had the kids for 4 days over here playing, and it just, as soon as it seems like the minute I walk into my area where I do all my work, that they're like white on rice. I'm the rice and they're the white, and they're like all over me. And they like to touch everything, so drives me crazy. Then we're going to go with our R22 again, and we're going to do the bottom down here. So let's start down here under her leg. I need to be better about sending more cards out. I try to, when I have orders, I try to put some in there or toss a card in there so that the recipient of their order can maybe send a card out to somebody else. Because I have them, they're piling up. I'm going to add these little pleats right here. Wanda, I'm a bad speller too. That's what I use. I usually type things if I'm worried. I'll look it up in the dictionary, or I will type it out on my word program. Even my phone. My phone will tell me that, no, that's not how you do it. So I try to do that. Oh, granddaughters, 21, 16, and 7. Oh, the 7-year-old's probably pretty good at helping you craft then, right, crafty girl? I have 2 5-year-old, well, 1 5-year-old, 1 4-year-old, because she's not going to be 2 till the second, and then 2 1-year-old granddaughters. My husband Wanda is wishing we had some grand boys too, some grandsons, because he's got a lot of girls. He's the only boy. But he's got girls, so he's gonna have to learn to live with it. 3 oranges. Tammy, I'll have to grab my chart, and then I will I'll leave that down in the comments section later because I didn't bring my chart into my video room. But I'll look up 3 oranges and then let you know. I'm going to go ahead and give her a second coat. And also, if you girls don't know, you can go over to the blog, and on the sidebar it'll say, I think it says Copic, or it says color combos. There's a bunch of posts in there that give you combos I've used, along with that I keep in my sketchbook or my swatch book. And that's something I highly recommend too, as a swatch book. So if you find a color you like, put it down on something and put it in your little book. Then we're going to go R21. Or even if you're out blog hopping, you can blog hop and you see a color you really like, write it down and then try it out and then put it in your swatch book. And I use that all the time when I want to do hair and stuff. I'll just pull out my swatch book and check out what colors I've used and decide what I want to do with that. And then we'll go with R30 over her entire outfit. That. Okay, so let me see. What did I do here? So there is our baby Tilda all colored up. And let me see. I better fix. I forgot to do this little space right there between her arm with my C0, which was supposed to be C00, but I forgot it in the other room, so I just did it with that. And then for her hair, I'm going to take my Spica glitter pen in clear and do some sparkles in her hair. I'm just going to kind of swirl my pen around in there, willy-nilly. And maybe do these antennas on the little butterfly wings here, on the butterflies. Give them a little bit of sparkle. Then let me find my card. Let's put our card together. Grab this. And let me see if I can go up a little bit. Whoops, not that way. Let's go up. We'll get our card out. And we will do something with all this stuff. Oh, honey found my book. So, for oranges, my Mr. HeathersHobbieHaven went and found my little chart for me. Thanks, honey. So for oranges, I would go with, depending on what I was going to color, my favorites are, like for a pumpkin, YR 27, 24, and 23. If you don't have all three of those, you could do R27 and 23 and then do tip to tip to get the R24. If I wanted to go something a little bit brighter, I would maybe go with YR 18, 15, 12. Something like that. And then here is the hexagon chart. See what I mean? I love this thing. So you could go along, and on the regular chart, they're all in an order. But over here, you've got, you can pick a color you like so over here I've got R27, and I could go R27, 35, and 43 would go really good together on something. But I would never pick that myself off of this color chart. That would just be too much work. But with this, I can just look at it and go, oh, there's 3 colors in a row. Or you could go R27, 17, 24, 14, 22. So if you need a bunch of colors, you could go kind of in a diagonal. Same down here with the blue ones. You could pick a color and be like, what's going to go with that? So, or sometimes too, I'll go like this one says B52, and it doesn't really fit really good with anything there, but you could kind of pull what goes kind of close to it. So this one looks really good. So B52, and then B22 is kind of light, but maybe B34, B52, and then B00 would kind of be, because they're really close there together. It would be really pretty. Hi Dee, thanks for joining us. I see Mike helped you get online so you could chat. Hopefully you had a great chat with him. He's very helpful, Mr. HeathersHobbieHaven. And then for my sketchbook, I have this Snap, sorry, it's upside down. Let me flip it over. This Snap album, the 6x8 album that I keep them in. And you've got color combos. And this little t-shirt here is on the sidebar of the blog on the right-hand side. So you could print this out and use this little template to make your little swatches. And then I've just did a little example of the colors I picked. My book here a little bit more, kind of like this. This girl was a freebie that Chris Saturated Canary did for breast cancer awareness. I just erased the thing, the little cancer thing on the front of her shirt before I printed it out. But since she's no longer in business, I went and found this little t-shirt so that we could use that instead. But I just keep all my little swatches in this book, and I can flip through it and see what I like. I also have a little section for hair. And again, this is a Saturated Canary image that she's no longer in business, but if you had one, you could use that, or you can find another girl and print her out. but there is a blank, not with this girl on there, but a blank swatch, so you could put whatever image you wanted, and then available on the blog. It's just a download for just this little section over here. But I keep all my little hair tones in here. And then I have a few skin tones, and I need to work on more because I only have 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty pitiful. And this is a Moe's digital pencil image. I think she's called Bossy. If you wanted to head over and grab her, and you could add her to your little blank swatch chart and then print some out there. And what do I got back here? Oh, I think this is my Shinha section. But I recommend a swatch chart book for everybody. And these sleeves are the, let me look. I think I have some over here. Let me go check real quick. These are the snap pocket pages that are 3x4. Nope, that's not it. Yep, that's it. 3x4 images you can fit in here. And these are on sale. So if you want some of these, head over to the store and grab those up. I just noticed there's a little coupon on there. So they work perfect. And then I just pull that little book out whenever I want to, you know, keep track of things. So it works out perfect. Crafty Girl is what off of Pinterest? Thanks, Wanda, for registering. Did you get the newsletter too? So we are going to fix up some of these little parts, and this little pieces here came from, let me look, came from a Cottage Cuts die called Baby Boy Clothes. So very cute. Thought we'd add those. So we are going to do, we need to add a little bit of color to our little parts here. So for this little fence, I'm going to do E43. We're going to add a little bit of this. And I just did, on my little piece here, there is some little circles in here. I'm just going to color inside the little circle. Give it a little bit of texture. And I know you're going to do better about keeping it in the circle. That wasn't very good. And then for my little rabbit, I'm going to add E81. So for my little rabbit, let's do down this side. And I'm going to come down his. I want to come down the entire side of his body. Go down here. That. And then I got to do his arm. This side. We want to give him a little bit of dimension because he's pretty white. This. And then we also want to add a little bit to our socks. So I'm going to go with my sock. Let's go right down the edge of this one. And I'm going to pretend the bottom's there. Do the line for my sock. For this side. Since it's going to be tipped down this way, I'm going to do this side sock. Whoops. And then for the overalls, I'm going to add the swatch sheets. We're going to add E79. The swatch sheets are, you can have those blank. There's some over on my store blog, on the store blog on the right hand side. There's the one with the t-shirt is on there, and then the ones that are blank so you can add your own image because Saturated Canary isn't in business anymore, you can add your own image into the little blank space where I had the girl for the hair. So with our E79, let's do a little bit here. And for the bottom down here, I'm going to give a little bit extra. On the side of my pants over. So it just gives them a little bit of dimension on there, so they're not completely brown. And then for my little rabbit here, he has a face. I'm going to take my Copic multiliner in 0.3, and I'm gonna have to put him down here. I'm going to do his eyes, and then I'm going to fill in his nose. Oh, I better do a little bit on his mouth. Got his little face on there. So that's pretty easy. For my hex chart, I printed it on the Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock. It's just 8.5 by 11-inch paper that I use to color. Always do your charts on whatever paper you're going to be coloring on. So I printed it out on my Neenah just with my printer, and then it works perfect. So I'm going to attach this little pocket onto my overalls here before I start putting stuff together so it can dry. Okay. Whoops. Little piece of fuzz on there. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. So let's set all this stuff over here. Okay, so in your kit, you're gonna have all this stuff. Uh-oh, and I forgot. What am I missing in my little pile? Maybe it's in this other. I forgot this little doily, so I'm gonna have to add that later. Evidently, I didn't cut out an extra one or grab an extra one. Okay, so we're going to start by adding this brown piece first. And I have this set just straight on the card, so I'm just add a little bit of glue. My handy dandy tape runner. Yeah, it just probably looks bigger on the screen because I'm really close. So I always make sure that my card is going the way I want before I start putting stuff on, because I'm the type of person that would put it all on upside down and then be like, oh, great. So first thing I check is to make sure I'm going the right direction right from the start. And then, let's see, next is this cute little piece, and you can use either side, but this side has kind of like a little greenish tint to it. And this one I made go a little bit to the side. And then next we're going to have this cute little flowered piece, or you can do this dark brown if you like that side best. You could also do, oh great, I ran out of tape. Okay, let me run over and grab the tape. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I grabbed a doily while I was gone too. So, tape. Of course, you know, it was not right out handy. It was all ran out of my drawer, of course. Isn't that how things work? Okay, so this one we are going to go kind of a little bit. Whoops, this one's not next. I've lost it. Next, we have on my card, we have this little piece of plaid gingham right here, and I ran out when I was cutting out kits, so I had to find a new piece. So I'm going to use this little pink one, and it could be, if you buy a kit, that you do actually get this little pink piece as one of your cards, because I just didn't have enough paper. And you can also use this gray side. This side's pretty. This, and this is set kind of cattywampus on here too. There, I was wondering why it didn't look like it matched. Then we are going to add now the little flower piece. So this one is kind of over here. So Mike today is actually Dee. She's my friend. And my husband helped her get online today so she could chat with us. Okay, so now we're going to get back to it. Now we're going to have this little piece, but I want to put on my little doily. So for my little doily, I'm going to take this piece and flip it over and put some glue on the back. And then I'm going to add this so I can make sure it's where I want it to go. Let's see, I want this to be, let's go right here. But I don't want this to stick off out here because it won't fit in the envelope. I want it to actually be on the card. So let's put it right here. And we'll kind of tap it down and let it stick to that. That's an easy way so you don't accidentally attach it. And plus this doily's pretty, whoops, like that, pretty flimsy. So you want to be really careful not to rip it. Thank goodness I didn't. And we'll put that on here. Make sure it's again not hanging off the edge. And then we'll put our girl on. Does anybody have any suggestions for what they want to do in a future live stream? Make sure if the video's over to leave it down in the comments section, because I do check those and write them down so that I can remember. This I did not pop up. And we'll put this on. So all about right. Card straight. This. Then we are going to go with this cute little fence. And for the fence, I did pop this up. So let's put some little dots back there. Tackle these little pop dots. Hardest part is getting the paper off the back of these things. Crazy. And we're going to go with, let's see, put her like this. And then I wanted my little rabbit to kind of sit on the fence here. So let's go. See, my die has some stuff on it. Let me grab that off there. Get that off. So let's see. But we put one on his head. Oops. And maybe down here on his little fanny. Make it look like he's kind of leaning up against the fence here. Popped him too far down. I might have to move him over because I wanted the pop dot to fit. There we go. Fit on the fence. Then we will add our little overalls. And let's right here. Then we're going to do our little socks. First sock, this side. Stick off. So I don't want it to pop up over here. I want it to sit onto my pants. So I'm going to use a little bit of my liquid glue over here to hold that down. It dries. Oh, well, it helps if you take the paper off, Heather. Okay, now let's try it. And that glue will hold it onto this little overalls here. So there is our beautiful baby Tilda, all colored. Doesn't she look cute? Love her. I love all these little outfits. I've actually found that die in my stash and was like, oh, that's so going on the front of that card. Like I said, I'm going to make this into a 1-year-old birthday card, so I'm just going to add a happy birthday sentiment and maybe put a 1 on my new card and call it good. So do you girls have any questions? Don't forget, if you haven't picked up this card kit, you can get that for 25% off over at the store until June 25th. Just use coupon code JUNE22. And you can pick that up, and there's a link down in the description box to the card kit, and it comes with the instructions for this card. And also, if you want to do the lighter skinned baby, you can do that. I put the skin tone for that in there also. Otherwise, they are exactly the same. So just depending on what color you want to do your girls. But she will be perfect. And then the little pink paper, I think, looks pretty good. Even though I didn't have this plaid one over here, it turned out pretty good with the different colored paper. Kind of makes it pop a little bit more, I think. So if you guys want to do something specific in a future live stream video, leave me a comment down in the comments section. You can just say hi too. That'd be awesome. I'd love for someone to say hi or just chat with me down there in the comments section. That makes my day when I see somebody say hi down there. Otherwise, I guess we will see you next Thursday at 11 o'clock. Or, nope, is it 11 o'clock? Nope, 12 o'clock. Sorry, wrong time. Thursdays at 12, and we'll be doing something with watercoloring. I don't know what yet, so check the store blog, and I will have that on there. Otherwise, I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.